Hi, my name is Isaiah Wilson, and my informative speech is going to be about League of Legends. What is League of Legends? League of Legends is one of the most popular and competitive gaming multiplayer online battle arenas, or MOBAs for short, in the world. The game was developed and published by Riot Games and was first released in October 27th, 2009. It is a PC game made for both Microsoft Windows and Mac OS users. It's also free to download, not for phones, but just for computers and everything. But they will be making it mobile for phones too in next year. Now, What do you do in League of Legends? Well, I'm going to talk to you about one of the most popular game modes of the game, which is called Summoner's Rift. Okay, Summoner's Rift. You'll be put in a team of 5 on your spawn bases. The objective is to destroy the enemy team's core of their base, which is this right here. This is it. The core on both teams' bases are called a nexus. The nexus is what each team must destroy to gain victory, but to get into their base, you must get through their defensive sentries, which is these right here. In each lane. Yeah. These sentries are in these 3 lanes. One in the middle, one on the top, one in I mean, yeah, 3 in the middle of the enemy side, 3 in the top, and 3 in the bottom. Or for short, you could just call the lanes mid lane, top lane, and bottom lane. The paths between each lane are jungles, which are these paths right here. These paths right here, right on the map. The paths between each lane are jungles, which is filled with monsters that holds buffs for your champions if you slay them. These are the monsters right here. This is red buff. The red buff helps you do more damage, and the blue buff gives you more mana or energy for certain champions. The jungle can be used to your advantage to flank the enemy team. Um, what I mean by helping using the jungle to your advantage, I mean enemy. You can ambush enemies if they get too close to your sentry, or it's the other way around for them on you. Ambush everything. All right, next one. Now, about the champions. What are champions in League of Legends? The champions of League of Legends are characters with their own unique abilities that can be used for the player's advantage. There are 152 characters to choose from, and each of them plays a role. Yes, there are 152 characters, and they're still developing some more in the future. The game is just that popular. But anyway, here are the roles of each character that plays. Here are the roles that the characters play as. There are characters that does ADC. There are mages, tanks, assassins, bruisers, and supports. And I'm guessing you're wondering what those roles are. Let's go ahead and talk about that. ADCs. ADC stands for Attack Damage Carry. Is really good. That role is really good for marksman. An ADC is an arc, an archaic term used to refer to a champion that deals strong, continuous damage with their basic attacks and scales with attack-related stats. This role is most fitting for marksman champions that focuses on dealing attack damage, critical chance, attack speed, and damage over time from afar. And I put one of the characters of that type of role, and I put Jinx, the loose cannon. I would explain her abilities to you and everything. I think that would be a good description on how she makes a good marksman, but I'm just gonna give you the example of what characters play the role instead of that, because I don't want to take too much time, even though it is. Anyway, next role, mages. What are mages? Mages. Uh, they're also known as APCs, which is ability power carries. Mages are champions that are like marksmen, but instead of using attack damage, they use ability power. Ability power, ability power is their main source for dealing magical damage with their abilities. They can combo that with their abilities. They can combo them on their opponents to deal heavy damage from afar as well. And here's another character I choose from out of 152 characters, which is Annie, the Dark Child, a little girl that knows pyromancy and has a demon teddy bear. Yeah, Riot Games are really creative with their characters. Tanks, which is my favorite role I like to play as. Anyway, what are tanks? I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone gets the instinctive idea of what a tank is, but not like, but not like the actual military tank. But still, I get the idea. Tanks are slow but tough champions that can resist any amount of damage for a certain amount of time. They are the most highly defensive role for team fights to help allies secure a kill for the team and to defend lane sentries and their allies. One of my favorite champions I like to play as is Cho'Gath, the Great Terror of the Void. The Terror of the Void. Yeah, I just like that character. Usually I main with him. Now, assassins. Assassins are highly mobile champions. That means they are quick, fragile but quick. Assassins are highly mobile champions that does melee burst damage and relies on outsmarting enemies to get out of risky situations or to outplay them to secure a kill. Some champions can some champions of this can of this role can camouflage. It can go invisible. Just try to ambush you. Yeah, they have those kinds of champions. And for this role, I chose the assassin Katarina, the Sinister Blade. And bruisers. What are bruisers? Also, you could call them fighters. Bruisers are high damage and highly sustained fighters who takes the fight in, who takes the fight head on to their enemies in close ranges. Like like tanks and assassins, deal they can take a beating and do high burst damage to their opponents. So they're like a hybrid of both. They're like a hybrid of both tank and assassin, but most likely a warrior combined. And what better way to give this example to Darius, the Hand of Noxus? Yeah, he's definitely a killer. I'll give you that. And lastly, the role supports. Support champions are champions that assist their more vulnerable teammate through the early stages of the game, and is a position that suits champions with their utility, disengage, or high base damage. Some champions heals themselves and other champions around them. And I chose the support mage Sona, the Maven of the Strings. She's one of the most iconic supports I know personally because she can heal allies around her. But there are tons of other supports to play as, but I choose her mostly. Excuse me. Now, out of all champ, out of some champions I showed you, even though there's tons of more champions, and what role to play, how do you make them stronger? How do you make your champion stronger? This is part one, by the way. I'll give you 3 steps. It has 3 steps. Uh, the first step is last hitting minions or monsters, while will grant you bonus experience to level up your champion's abilities and gives you bonus gold. This is like this gift right here. Yeah, this gift is basically self-explanatory. Okay, the second step, kill the enemy. Killing the enemy will grant you extra gold and experience. If all enemies are killed, it will be an ace for a team to push through their defenses. So yeah, also not only that you kill minions, you can also kill the enemy team. If all the enemies are deceased, your team or yourself could push forward to their sentries and destroy it, moving on to the moving on to their second turret, and so on, just to get to their base. And yeah, that was step three I just explained. Destroying the enemy sentries will grant the team gold. Now I know I said what to do with the gold and everything. What do you do with the gold and everything? And that's part two of how to get stronger. Sorry. How do you make your champion stronger? Okay. Whenever you call or die, you will spawn in your base. Both teams have a store where they can buy items that can increase your offensive attacks, and increase your defense that can resist any physical or magical attacks. Or, I mean, you can build champions to be high be a high damage fighter, a strong defensive guardian, or a very effective healing support. There are many items to choose from, be and can be overwhelming. It does. So the store gives you recommended items to help you out, and it does. That's really kind of them. So because it's your first time in a game and you don't know what to do and you don't know what to buy, so the store will help you out what items are best suited for a certain champion, or how to get through risky situations. And lastly, like I said from the beginning, destroying the destroying the base to win the game. Once the enemy team is killed and all of their defenses are destroyed, the living team must push into their enemy base to destroy the nexus to win the game. So you gotta kill minions, kill the enemy team, destroy their sentries to push forward to the base, and destroy the core, and that's how you get victory. Also, and that's just a quick play of it. There's also ranked matches in the game too for those who wants to be more competitive. And trust me, they are competitive in the game. But that's how you play the game, and that's my informative speech of how it goes down in League of Legends. And personally, I think it's the most fun game I've ever played. One of my first MOBAs I played and heard about. Uh, yeah, that's basically it. Hope hope I got your interest in the game, maybe. And yeah, thanks for listening. Take care. I'm gonna play me some League of Legends right now since I'm talking about it. Yeah, take care.